Over the last few months, I have been using Kittl more and more for my print-on-demand designs. While Canva has been my main design platform since I started print-on-demand over 3 years ago, Kittl has now released so many new features that stand out against Canva, and it's slowly becoming my main design platform now. But like every design platform out there, it comes with a learning curve. So today we're gonna go over 15 plus tips and tricks that are more advanced. So by the end of this video, you're going to be a Kittl professional. Number one, when you're opening up a brand new file, have you ever noticed this tab here? If you do print on demand, they pull the sizes that you'll need from different design platforms like Merch by Amazon, Printful, Redbubble, Printify, so you can actually go select your product that you're designing for and you have the dimensions right away. Kittl offers both border weight and they also have text effects. So you can add a border to things and it actually works slightly differently between elements and text. If you have text and you add a border, it actually eats into the text. So it might look a little bit funny on text. You might not want to use it. I'm just gonna change the border color so you can see, and I'll change this here. So you can add the border this way, or if you want it to actually expand out, we're gonna actually turn off the border weight. We're gonna go to effects, and then we're gonna turn on this third one here, which is the block shadow. And when you first open it, it'll probably look like this, but you're just gonna bring the offset to 0. And then underneath where we see outline width, we're going to grow it here, and then we can make this larger. And now you can see that the outline is actually adding on top of our text instead of cutting into it. But if we have an element and we want to add on a border, it actually doesn't eat into it like it does on text. We can add out, we can change the color here, and you can see that it just grows the size. And maybe we even just want to make our object bigger. We can use the same color, and now we're kind of just making it a thicker design. Hey, ignore it if you see my cat walking in the back of this video. He's doing his own thing. But back into Kittl, did you know that you can also do gradients for text very easily? If you go to text color and you change up here, it says solid color, but there's a little drop down arrow. And if we hit gradient color, we're actually able to change the gradient of this design and this text as well. Another thing I love about Kittl is their color palettes. So first, what you're gonna notice is when you actually select colors, you have something called document colors. And what this does is it lets you select any color that's already in your Kittl file. So you can match your reds, you can match your blacks. It makes it super easy. But another really cool thing is if you can't find that color, you want a slightly different color, they also have the eyedropper tool where you can go in and select a color, and then you're going to change that element that you have selected to that color that you selected with the eyedropper tool. But what if this whole color palette I just don't like? I don't like the colors I've selected here. I went kind of nuts. Then what we also have is we have under here, you're going to see project colors, which again are all of the colors that we have in our file already, but there is also color palettes, and you can hover over these, and it's actually going to apply these new color palettes to every single one of your elements in your design. So you can completely change up the vibe of your design in literally just clicks. You can hover so you're not committing to any of them, go through these and select which one works for you. I'm kind of liking this little blue one called Cold Forest. One huge reason I absolutely love Kittl for their text especially is their transformations down here. We have wave, we have rise, we have arc, we have custom, we also have distort. But something that can help with this as well is by going to the little settings button up here and turning on a grid. So I usually like to make it, let's do it like this. This helps me line up any of the transformations that I make using these. So a lot of times what I like to do is I like to just stretch text and make it look bigger. So I'm just gonna grab this, and using my grid, I'm gonna drag it down to a line. I'm gonna also bring down this middle one, bring it to the exact same line, and then same with the last one here. And there we go. This is a lot harder to do without having the grid on. So just turning this on can help a lot with precision and making your design look clean. And then after, you can just flick it off. A lot of Kittl fonts also have what are called glyphs, which are fancy characters for text. These aren't for every single font in here. They're usually the more like fancy fonts. But if you click into your text here. And say I want to try to find a different H. I'm going to click this little button here. It looks like a and has the plus button, and you can type in what letter you want to replace. So let's say H, for example. They have these different H's available. So I'm going to select this one here, and I'm going to remove this. That looks really cool, makes my text look extra funky. Let's see if there's like a cool D in here. There's this little one with a swirl that I like. And then last one, like maybe let's check for the N. I don't like to go too crazy with glyphs, or it does start to look really funny. But there we go, and now we have an extra really cool font with these extra glyphs. Here's another one I made with glyphs, extra fancy. And if you bring in a new font from Creative Fabrica and it has glyphs in it, which a lot of them do, you can easily access this from this panel, which you cannot do using Canva. The next thing I want to do is add a texture to my design. If you're using a template, some of them already have textures applied, but you can use the little textures button down here and select one of these to go on top. But one thing I've noticed is a lot of them are automatically set to color burn, which I don't like. So I'm going to click on this drop down button and change it to alpha mask. And that actually cuts out the design, which I think looks a lot more realistic in terms of a texture. And then another thing you need to make sure you do is under here is hit clip content. It's where there's a clip content up here. It doesn't really seem to work. So just make sure you have this bottom one turned on. And then this one will actually make sure it doesn't apply to the background, but it only applies to your design. If I have a bunch of elements in my design and they need to line up and be spaced out evenly, you have the grid option, but the easiest way to do it is to just select everything. And then you're going to get this button right here that pops up. And I'm going to use tidy, which is going to separate them equally depending on which way they're laid out. It could be horizontally, vertically, but because I had these vertically, it's going to do it that way. And then I also just want to make sure they're centered together. So I'm going to click that centered button. So that way I know I have a professionally lined up design. But this design is only going to print well on a light colored product, a light colored t-shirt. But what if I also wanted to print black shirts? This might not appear very well just because it's got black in the design. It's pretty dark. So I want to make a variation of it that is for darker shirts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate right here where you see Artboard 1 or the name of this artboard. And I'm going to hit the option on my keyboard, the option button. And at the same time, I'm going to drag over the name here. And what that's going to do is it's going to duplicate this artboard for me. So I have two in here. And now I'm going to select everything in this second artboard, and I'm just going to change up the colors to make this a lighter design. So for this one, I'm going to click here. I'm going to change the black in my gradient. So I'm going to select on that color. I'm going to change that to white. That actually looks pretty good to me. Maybe I'll make this one a little bit brighter. But there we go. This is now a lighter version of our design that can print on dark colored shirts. Kittl also, because it was created for print on demand, has a Mockup Creator built into it. So you can actually see how your design is going to look when it's on a product. So if you select the artboard you want to see this on and then navigate to this button up here, it's like a little t-shirt with a star on it. And if you hover over it, it says Mockup. We're going to click on this and then say I could do this on a paper. If I was printing maybe say an invitation, then you can just rearrange how it's going to look on this. But they also have things like t-shirts, hoodies and sweatshirts, tops, apparel flat lays. Say if you were selling tote bags, you could do this on tote bags as well. So you can just make this like that. And what's great is it actually applies the texture to these. So it looks super realistic. And then you can change the color of the actual product as well. I do, for things like this, use this for reference only because for t-shirts and sweatshirts, you won't actually know what brand these are being printed on. So you don't know if it's the actual t-shirt you're using. So I would be careful with this, but it's great to get an idea of what this is going to look like. Let's say for a top shirt, it's a man who loves his mama. Make this larger and you can see that this actually warps to the design. The shadows apply to your design, again, just to make this look super realistic. And then if you wanted to save it, you can also download your mockup and we can change this again too. There we go. Something we're also able to do in Kittl is add outlines, which yes, we talked about earlier, but how about we just have an outline where the middle is cut out? We don't want any middle whatsoever. So what we can do is for things that have an outline, like this one, what we want to do is the inside. So this one is our inside here. We're going to change this back to solid color. So it's just one solid color now, but we're actually going to set the middle to have an opacity down here of 0, but we're keeping the border as is. This also works with shapes and elements. Let's do a star. We want a star in our design, but we want outline of a star, which we can't find. So instead, we're going to increase the border weight. We're going to change this. I'm going to change it to the same document color so it matches. And then for the object color, I'm not setting it to white, but I'm just changing the opacity to 0 so that it's see-through. So now we can see it's see-through, but the star is on top of my text. If you want to change the order of anything in Kittl, you're going to use layers, and your highlighted item right here right now is a star. You can see it's highlighted under my layers. It's called basic shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it and I'm just going to drag it downwards. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There you go. And I'm going to place it underneath. Now you can actually see this one's see-through, so it doesn't look quite right, but now the star is underneath all of our text, so we've moved it background in the layers of things. If you've watched my Canva tutorials, I've shown you how to do this next one on Canva, but I'm going to show you how to do it on Kittl. And this is how to put text behind a head or behind an object. So if I have an image here, I'm actually going to duplicate it. So I'm going to hit Command Copy, Command Paste. And then on this top version, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the AI background remover. Once that's done, you can see there's two little me's here, and I'm going to layer them on top of each other. Then I'm going to grab a text, for example, or an object, and I'm going to place it in. And you can see right here, it actually placed in at the bottom. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the top first under layers. So right now it's on top, and the image of me, I'm just going to select it, is actually this one here, the top illustration image. So I'm going to drag my mama under there. And now you can see the text is actually showing up behind my head. And if I wanted to make this even more legible, what I can do is I can copy, paste this. I'm going to move this one on top of even that. I'm going to layer this. And then I'm actually just going to make the center see-through. Set it all the way, turn off gradient color. And there you go. This looks better when the outline is white. So let's just change that to white. And now I can still see through to both my image and I can see me at the same time. I can select two layers while holding Command in my layers panel, and then I can just drag this around and it can change based on how I move this because I'm in the center of the two texts. So I'm gonna keep playing with this around, and there we go. I think that looks pretty cool. Say I want to turn me into a vector. I can also do that by selecting me, and then I'm gonna use Image Vectorizer. I can also use the new AI image upscaler to make this a better quality photo, but I actually just want to turn me into a vector so I can scale myself. So now I kind of look like a paint by numbers because Kittl groups like colors, and this works so much better if you have a picture or graphic with less than 16 colors. But taking a look at this, now I can go play with the colors. I can change my highlights. I don't really want to do this. It doesn't work the greatest for photos, again, with a max of 16 colors. But if you have a low quality PNG file, for example, you can use the vectorizer and use as many colors are in that file to make it a high quality vector that you can scale up and down. I use this vectorizer quite a bit. Whether you've never used Kittl before or you've been using them and didn't know about some of these hacks, I hope this video helped you out. If you learned something new, if you could please leave a like and subscribe, it would help so much. Thank you guys.